Ladies, you might want to consider what Dave Chappelle advised. Get off the bus and walk. So can we be honest enough to call things how we see them? Right? Can we be honest with ourselves? I can't speak to the content of people's hearts. Only God knows, right? But I can speak to the implications of their actions and what that says about the kind of people they are. When someone's notoriety is dying and suddenly they get a boost by medically transitioning to become a woman, you can say, well, she's living out her authentic self. Or you can say her authentic self is an attention-seeking, narcissistic human being. Both statements can be true. As that one action by that one famous person has caused a chain reaction and inspired other attention-seeking, narcissistic human beings to consider transitioning. And these days, you don't even need to transition medically. Socially transitioning can suffice. And by simply declaring yourself as a woman, you can get opportunities, earmarks for people with vaginas. People with vaginas used to have a name, but now they go by a phrase. And you can thank feminism for that. It taught us that it doesn't matter. Physical differences doesn't matter. All that matters is mental capacity. And yes, they are right? After all, Rene Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. And trans activists took it a step further and said, I think I'm a woman, therefore I am a woman. So maybe we should also thank Descartes as well. And as we are recognizing achievements, there's a current achiever among those breaking the boundaries of the white man system of oppression that only recognizes two genders. I'm talking about Brian Gwen. According to his Instagram post, he wrote, in the 100-year history of Miss America, I have officially become the first transgender title holder within the Miss America organization. No words can describe the feeling of having the opportunity to serve my community and represent my community for the very first time at Miss New Hampshire. I am so honored to be crowned your new Miss Greater Dairy 2023, and I am thrilled to show you what I have up my sleeve. This will be an amazing year. And here is a video of him graciously receiving this award.
Can we skip to the good part?
Now keep in mind also that the winner of this pageantry gets a scholarship of $7,500. So in addition to becoming an overnight celebrity and qualifying as a contestant for Miss New Hampshire, Brian gets to go home with $7,500. This guy is ugly by every beauty standard. He's ugly for a man and even uglier for a woman. Compared to other women in this contest, he stands out as the ugliest of them all. Yet, for virtue signaling purposes, he's crowned the winner, and every single girl on stage has to get on with the program and act like a crucial opportunity hasn't been stolen from them and given to the ugliest woman on the planet. All Brian had to do was show up like the pig from Charlotte's Web in a red dress, and now he's a winner, just like the pig from Charlotte's Web. And also, just like the pig from Charlotte's Web, women have to be sacrificed for him to be a winner. I guess this is how art imitates life, right? But why do ladies have to participate in this charade, whether it is in sports or pageantry? Ladies, you might want to consider what Dave Chappelle advised. Get off the bus and walk.
You got to get off the bus and walk. It's real talk.
But then, I've had these trans creators talk about receiving enormous support from women and feminists. Even mothers are transitioning their 2-year-old sons. It seems like there are some feminists out there whose major problem with the patriarchy was the fact that men didn't identify as women. I guess the problem all along was the fact that men didn't wear dresses and compete in beauty contests, right? How are we sure that the ladies on stage weren't genuinely happy to have lost to the ugliest lady in the history of that competition? Maybe that has always been their collective dream, to see an overweight, visually unappealing man become Miss Greater Dairy 2023. It wasn't all men who voted for Caitlyn Jenner as Woman of the Year. It wasn't all men who were thrilled to see Leah Thomas get nominated for Woman of the Year by the NCAA. Most men were against it, openly against it. And do you think the judges in this beauty contest were all men? Yet any woman who dares to speak against this nonsense is called a tough, and other women heavily criticize them. And now these opportunistic, attention-seeking men feel emboldened that here is one of them saying just that.
J.K. Rowling has been tweeting again, and she is a bigot. Do you know how I know? You taught me. The feminists who follow me from every generation, from all over the world, are in the comments constantly learning from each other, listening to each other, working together to find solutions to end misogyny. If someone is a mega gajillionaire author and has access to any research she wants, any knowledge she wants about trans people and what we're all about, and she refuses to give up on being anti-trans, we have to assume she is motivated by something else besides what she calls women's rights. She's a bigot.
See, the erasure of women by the trans movement is not an alarmist perspective of what is going on. It is a fact. It is a fact the same way gender is a fact. I mean, last month in Brazil, a transvestite was awarded Woman of the Year by Glamour magazine's Brazil franchise. This person clearly stated that he isn't a woman. He even went on to tell journalists that there is no such thing as a woman, but that didn't change anything at all. And why women? Why only women? I mean, I'm sure if I tell you to mention 10 trans individuals, you know, every person on your list will be a trans woman. Yet, some feminists can find the time to comment on Jeffrey's video and tell him how bigoted J.K. Rowling is. Even female actresses that became rich and famous because of J.K. Rowling still have the guts to go against her because of her comments on trans women. Which is not that egregious. Isn't it ironic that people who believe in male privilege make an exception for males who identify as women? I mean, for years, women have tried to destroy the high oppressive beauty standard reinforced by beauty pageantry. And all it took was a 19-year-old man to make the judges see the light, right? Right? I guess these feminists can handle mansplaining. They can. They just need it to come from an ugly, overweight man in a dress and some makeup. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed the video, please like the video, share this video, subscribe to this channel and ring that notification bell, and also let me know in the comments what you think about Brian Gwen and the fact that actual women are being deprived of opportunities that rightfully belong to them, and those opportunities are given to trans women. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you.